Even though there are a lot of cars on the market that are oversold and don't live up to their promises, there are also a lot of cars, trucks, and SUVs that are sadly underrated and would be loved by their owners if only they were bought. Sadly though, many of the best cars on the market today go unnoticed, whether it's because of bad marketing, a bad price point, or a lack of sex appeal. It's too bad because there are a lot of cars out there that people would be happy to buy and drive for years without any problems if they only knew about them. This is why we have compiled a list of 10. Here is a list of the 10 most underrated cars on the market today. But before we proceed, feel free to like this video and subscribe. Number 10 is Mazda 6. The Mazda 6 has been an underdog in the car business for a long time. The Mazda 6 has never gotten the love and respect it deserves for a number of reasons. Even though Mazda doesn't sell as many cars as Honda or Toyota, the Mazda 6 is a good car that can easily compete with the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. We could make the case that the Mazda 6 is a more attractive car. It also has a 4-cylinder engine with 184 horsepower, which gives it a lot of power. The Environmental Protection Agency says that it gets 35 miles per gallon on the highway, which is great for customers' wallets. And of course, this car handles like a real Mazda, which means it is great to drive. The Mazda 6 is a sports sedan that looks like a sensible suburban car, as many reviews have said. Number 9 is the Chevy Cruze hatchback. If you want to talk about not getting enough attention, how about the Chevy Cruze hatchback? The 5-door Chevy Cruze hatchback, which came out in 2017, has the same front-wheel drive 4-cylinder engine as the Chevrolet Cruze car. The European cut angles of the hatchback make it look more elegant and polished. Also, the cargo hold has a huge amount of space and room for things. When the back seats are folded down, this car has a lot of space for whatever you want to take. With this hatchback, Chevy shows once again that it is the master of smart, cheap cars. The only question is whether people who buy cars will notice. Number 8 is the Fiat 500 Abarth. The Fiat 500 Abarth is a car that needs work. Even though this car is small, it is a lot of fun to drive. And don't be fooled. The Fiat 500 Abarth is a city car that also loves to rip and snort down country roads. With the exception of much more expensive sports cars, you won't find a car with a similar engine sound to this Abarth. Even Fiat's 124 Spider sports car doesn't sound as good as the 500 Abarth when the engine is running. Even though this is a small car, its 1.4-liter engine can still make 160 horsepower. The Abarth is like a big version of a small Ferrari. The manual transmission isn't perfect, and the 500 Abarth isn't just made for driving off-road. But this Fiat is so much fun to drive that it's a crime to do so in the city or on the weekends when you're out in the country. Number 7 is Cadillac CT-SV. Don't think about the fact that this is a Cadillac. Don't even think about what you know about Cadillacs. Instead, think that you can put a rocket missile on the back of a Buick LaCrosse sedan. Because that's pretty much what you get when you drive the Cadillac CT SUV, which is a performance monster with 640 horsepower that can eat BMWs and Mercedes for breakfast. Even though that might sound like a big stretch, it's not. This Cadillac is a real American luxury car, and it's a lot of fun to drive, whether you're revving the engine or just going for a nice Sunday drive. The 6.2-liter V8 engine is happy to cruise along at legal speeds or tear up the road if you want to go faster. Some car writers refer to the Cadillac CT-SV as a Corvette with 4 doors. Yes, that is high praise. It's too bad that BMW and Mercedes cars get all the attention and praise. This Cadillac is something to think about. Number 6 is Volkswagen CC. The Jetta, Passat, Beetle, and Tiguan, to name a few, are all well-known Volkswagen models, but customers don't even look at the CC. This is a shame because the Volkswagen CC has a lot to offer if only it had a chance to show what it could do. In fact, this German-made car is a great example of how great a Volkswagen can be when it doesn't try to please everyone. Volkswagen forgot a lot of what made its cheap cars so appealing in its rush to become the German version of Japan's Toyota Motor Company. Both the Jetta and the Passat were made to look and drive the same. The Golf is still a great car, but as the Chevy Cruze shows, Americans aren't too picky about hatchbacks. The CC is not the same. It has a lot of style, enough room for 4 adults, and the controls have that German feel that Volkswagen uses to make its products exciting and appealing to working people who might not be able to buy a BMW. Number 5 is the Toyota 86 Coupe. Toyota is another car company that has a number of well-known and highly regarded models. The 86 Coupe is not one of them though. People will miss the 86 Coupe if Toyota decides to stop making it, which is a shame. That's because Subaru and Toyota worked together to make the 86 Coupe, and when it first came out, it was called the Scion 4S. The 4S is back in the Toyota family now that the Scion name has been dropped. Many people complain that the Subaru experts who made the flat 4-cylinder engine can only get about 200 horsepower out of it. But this sports coupe has driving dynamics that only the best sports cars in the world can match. The truth is that the 86 Coupe is like a cheap Porsche Cayman. It has the same power, handling, and speed as a Porsche Cayman, but it costs half as much. Number 4 is the Mazda MX-5 Miata. To be fair, some people do have a special place in their hearts for the Mazda Miata. Just too few of them. And this is a shame because the MX-5 Miata is one of the most fun cars to drive on the market today. The Miata is a lot of fun to drive because it is small, light, and has a tight rear-wheel drive frame. Tall people may have trouble folding into the seats, but we promise it will be worth the trouble if you can do it. The Miata is a dream to drive for people of average or small size. It has an accurate manual shifter that puts many of the world's best exotic sports cars to shame, and it's cheap to buy and keep up. The Miata is so adorable, but the Miata's cute look is what makes many people not take it seriously. Sad because the Miata is a great car. Number 3 is the BMW 3 Series wagon. Most BMWs have a good reputation. We would say that some Beamers get too much attention, but that's not the case with the 3 Series wagon. The BMW SUVs and wagons that look nicer and sell the most are usually more popular than the 3 Series wagon. People who ignore the 3 Series wagon are missing out on a car that drives and looks like a German sports sedan. It has a cargo hold that is so big that it puts many other so-called utility cars to shame. Sure, your center of gravity isn't as high as it is in an SUV. But what the 3 Series wagon loses in size, it makes up for in how well it handles and drives. The 3 Series wagon can go anywhere because it has all-wheel drive and a diesel engine. Number 2 is the Ford Flex. In a lot of ways, the Ford Flex hurts itself the most. That's because a lot of people just don't know what kind of car the Flex is. Is it an estate car? Is that a car? Maybe it's some kind of crossover SUV? Many people just shake their heads when they look at this car. In fact, many people who write about cars say they don't know what to call the boxy Flex. What we do know for sure is that the Flex has a roomy trunk and a turbocharged V6 engine with 365 horsepower, which gives this car a lot to be proud of. Ford's Explorer and Escape SUVs tend to be the only ones that sell, leaving the poor Flex to sit on the wings. Number 1 is the Porsche 718 Boxster. Could there be an underrated Porsche? Even so, Porsche is one of the most well-known car names in the world, and its SUVs and sedans are some of the best-selling cars and SUVs on the market. The Macan and Cayenne are by far and away Porsche's most famous models. The Panamera and iconic 911 sports cars come in close second and third. On a sales chart, you have to look all the way to the bottom to find the Boxster. It often sits next to its mechanical twin, the Cayman Coupe, which has a hard top. We think this is wrong because the Boxster is a beautiful car with great engineering and great driving ability. The Boxster is also a convertible. The Boxster is even more interesting now that it has a new turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. But, like all the other great cars on this list, it seems like it will be forgotten. I hope this list was helpful for you. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment on the cars you drive. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified when we drop our next video.